right. Oh God. All right, y'all.
Everybody. Welcome to Home with Smooth. My name is Frankie.
Brian just
I'm
started
here with Ugly Reggie. I got Heather living her best life out here, and Smooth once he begins to start talking after he drinks his nasty spinach kale concoction that's making him choke right now. He will get on with today's episode. I don't know what number it is, but guess what? I don't have to know what number it is because we have so many episodes. We're over 100. That just go look at our back catalog on Spotify, on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast from. How are you doing today, Heather? How are you?
I'm great. I'm feeling grand. It is 9 o'clock over here, so I'm just kind of chilling, ready to jump into this topic. So.
Okay.
What about you, Reggie?
This is
Reggie.
Real quick. Real quick. This no. Real quick. This is episode 108. All right. This is episode 108, and then we got with us the special guest, Ugly Reggie from the Ugly Reggie podcast. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Ooh.
From the Ugly Reggie podcast.
So, do you want to plug yourself in right quick, sir, so everybody knows where to find you, even though we already know where to find you?
Exactly. I mean, you already said it on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast for. And also, Mr. Hustle over Handout brand. Shameless plug. That's why I got the hat on.
Shameless plug. You gotta do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. Well, without further ado, I don't know what's killing me. Like something is
your
literally
digestive
attacking
system
me
is just
from the inside,
right now.
and it picked till right now to attack my soul. But anyway,
your soul is mine, like that old Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, what?
Yes. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah, those old ones from way back. Yeah.
Oh man,
Frankie. I'm picking up everything
I'm too much today. See, no more.
Yeah, that was like Tales from the
Hood. It's the oxycodone.
Soul is mine. I'm like, wait, whoa. Trying to go, but anyway, so we're here to talk about today, Danny Lay and the baby, right? And y'all seen the whole situation, like. They had the big public breakup on IG Live. He kicking out the crib. Then Danny Lay brother getting beat up in the bowling alley on the lanes. Like I ain't never seen nobody get beat up on the lane. Like how y'all end up fighting in the lane?
No, he deserved it. He deserved it. Like how did he think that was gonna go? Like what was you expecting? Like they gonna let you shoot that 1v1 real quick? Like they gonna we gonna run that 1v1. Man, no. And I pay security? Yeah, you gonna take this L.
That ass.
I threw a bowling ball or something. Man. I threw a bowling ball or something. He went up there like he was gonna give a fair one.
Right. And my thing is that's a really popular bowling alley. Like I've been to that one and I'm like,
oh, it is?
And like everybody goes to that one. So I'm like, why did you think you gonna run up? He obviously gonna have some security with him. Like this was not the place to catch him. Like this wasn't the place.
Oh, he was asking for it.
I mean, we talking about the baby too. Like this man got a body under his belt, so I ain't gonna lie. I would move a little cautious, like running up on him, like at all people.
Right. Oh, and he didn't beat up other people. That's the thing. Like he's a legend for just beating up people.
Okay.
Oh,
like I think I don't know a year he's went without beating somebody up. I think it's like every year. This is 2020 checked off. He's good for the year.
That's actually true. Yeah, that's actually true. I was gonna say I always hear him getting some kind of fight. Always.
Mm-hmm. You know what's funny too, though? That bowling alley is like 6 minutes from me.
Really?
That's crazy.
It is not. That is crazy. He's
like
right
down the street.
No, because Smooth knows usually like I'm not like in like celebrity drama. But I guess since it happened so close, I was like, "Oh, like what happened at the Corbin Ball? Oh, shit!"
It's right around the corner. That's crazy.
Yeah, A lot of these places are like really close to each other. Like, and I'd be wondering, I'm like, what do y'all think is gonna happen? Like, this ain't.
Somebody got in his ear.
Yeah.
And was like, "Yo, let's run down on this man." And I don't know. Like, as a, I got a sister. And I would have to go through steps. Like we would have to go through steps before I publicly get beat up, and then turn around and sue the man. Like like you forever known as the dude that beat up at the bowling alley. Like, and nothing you do makes that situation better. So not only did you get beat up, your sister got played, you got beat up, and now you suing. And you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants to be like, oh, you ain't suing them, though. We understand. Like, no, bro. No.
Nah. Now you done publicly embarrassed the whole family.
Twice.
Like, that's just not.
Shame on your family. Oh.
You about shame upon the family name.
Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
Seriously. I'm like, no. That is just, That's why I'm like, and like you were saying, consider the consequences. This is the baby we talking about. And you can't just,
Yeah, that, and I think my thing is too, like with the baby, because even with his history and all the stuff that we see, how much of his shit gets dismissed too. So yeah. So it's like, so the thing is, the two things are happening. Either it's all self-defense, or he knows how to make it, so it looks like it's self-defense. So he could legally kick your ass. So it's like, why even? Like, if that was me, and and even once the baby rolled into Corbin Bowl, I'd have been like, all right, guys, I'm out. I'm out.
Or at least, like I said, fling a bowling ball. You
gotta fight dirty with this.
Yeah, you gotta fight dirty. Like I'm gonna take the L, but you know what I'm saying? They gonna like, well, at least he hit him with a bowling ball. At least, you know what I'm saying?
All my friends are there. We're all giving a bowling ball.
People in the crowd was hyping. Oh, my bad. Yeah, people in the crowd was hyping him up. Like there had to be the instigators. Like, man, the baby right there. I wouldn't let him do that to my sister.
Bro, he kicked your sister and the baby out, bro, and the baby.
That's your little nephew. That's your nephew on the street now.
He has to do something now. He got to do something because that ride back to the crib would have been weak as hell. Like, bro, I don't want to hear nothing from you. No rap songs, no nothing, because you had a chance to run down to this man and you didn't.
You did, right?
Man. But so Danny Lay and the baby, they broke up, right? So why do people keep going back to toxic relationships? Like, why she go back? Heather?
Ooh. I'm just so tired of talking about this. So on Black Twitter, let me get started. So on Black Twitter, this is a common topic. This is like probably one of the most common topics. So here is my theories, okay, from somebody who also has been in toxic relationships, whether I was toxic myself or the person I was with was toxic. So the person I was with for 8 years, we were both toxic. I mean, even before we got married, like we just were. But let me give you some theories on why some women want to stay in toxic relationships. So I'm going to say the history. Some people who have been in long-term relationships, and you'll hear people say like, oh, we've been together like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. And you'll be like, oh, that's a long time. And they'll be like on and off. And you're like, red flag. Because you already know like something has happened over and over again where you guys keep getting it wrong. So that's a clear sign of a relationship that is not working. So why do you keep continuing? So A is the history. Like, for me, I know it was hard for me to actually leave my ex because we had all this history. I knew his whole family. He knew my whole family. We had all these memories together. A lot of firsts I had with this person. I lost my virginity to him. We went on a lot of trips together, things like that. Big milestones in my life we encountered together. So history is probably one of them. Second, sex. We already know. If the D is good, it's hard to go. And I've noticed that for men, that's usually their reasoning too, is, oh, okay, like, well, it's just too bomb. I can't go. Like, I can't stop thinking about her. I can't leave her alone. That kind of thing. And then, I don't know. I really feel like those are the two biggest ones. If I can think of any more, I don't know. But honestly, sex, usually people are tied into the sex a little too much. And then 3, like your attachment style, I really feel like if you're codependent, it's really hard for you to move forward. Yeah, I was going to say, I actually had to look up some things on codependency in order to like unlearn some negative behavior so that I can actually like detach myself and like healthily move on to someone else. So a lot of people just don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. They're just ignorant. They don't even know what healthy is. They haven't seen it before. There's no good examples in their life, or they're just like hopeless romantic and they just don't care. They think that if you keep fighting and keep staying together, that's going to help. And it often does not. So.
Yeah, I think I'll just add on to everything that you said. So I'm not even going to go repeat any of that. I also think just status, because the status of being with someone, depending on what they bring and how it looks. Unfortunately, we're in a, because we have to remember that, you know, our parents' generation and their parents' generation, they were all saying like, hey, guess what? You know, divorce isn't an option. You're supposed to stay with this person. So I think they're trying to. So one, they're afraid of what it looks like if they leave somebody else like that too. Like I said, status, because if someone, like I said, in the baby's case, you know, besides all his crazy antics, it's like he's the baby. He makes money. He's a household name. He knows all this stuff. So people are like, well, and unfortunately we hear people like, it doesn't matter what he's doing. He brings this. So like, stick with it. And then also shame, because people, they don't like admitting. No one likes to admit failure, and that's even
true.
That's even with the relationship. And I think this goes from guys and girls too. So it's not just why women stay in toxic relationships. It's why men stay in toxic relationships. But then, and the thing is too, so the point that I'll accentuate what Heather said is that if certain things are really good in the relationship, you could always go lean on those to stay in, to give you reason to stay in, rather than, like you said, you know, all the family, it's really easy. You don't have to start all over. The sex is great. Habits over there too. They're really good at saving money. Because like I said, because my ex-wife too, it's like we were great except for, but you know, on everything except there's 3 things that finally and I had to be like, you know what, no, and it was hard, because I guess what, because I had to stop everything off. My lifestyle has to change now. Yeah, luckily we didn't have kids, but we know, so we went, you know, both making money like that too, just to, hey, not doing this, not doing that, you know, and not even lifestyle, just habits. It's like, if I'm doing this and this, she's able to do this and this and this. Now I have to put in like the work to do everything like for myself. You have to go cancel all this stuff. So it is a lot of work too. It's sometimes like I could say, like, if and speaking from my experience, if we didn't have 3 big things and maybe it was only 2 or 1, I might have stayed. I might still be married, because it might be because honestly, because it was a lot of work to get divorced, to get it off of that, to detach from everything, and even like up until like a couple years ago, I was still feeling the effects of it too. And sometimes you're like, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, not at all.
I feel that.
About that.
Reggie, what's up, man? How you feel about it?
Oh no! Shout out to Heather for even. I think it was real big for you. Said most people don't know their attachment types, and what happens is an anxious will always get with an avoidance. Like it like
every time,
every time, and it's because for one, we don't have what we believe or what is good role models for relationships. We think we know good relationships, and what happens is as we grow up, we're like, okay, we see this couple, we're gonna model our relationship after that, and then we get into relationships, and then for one, we don't know how to effectively communicate. And what happens is it does. And what it is I think the reason why we keep going back to toxic relationship is because it's a familiar pain. It's very familiar versus human, because humans are creatures of habit. And to me, the dumbest thing I've ever heard somebody say is, I'd rather give the wrong person 1,000,000 times than go to, and try with 1,000,000 different people, which is stupid to me, because you know what you're gonna get out of this. But once again, people rather it's comfortable. I know this. I know what I'm gonna get out of this. It's scary. And then I think from a psychological standpoint is, as humans, we love punishing ourselves from a lot of trauma that we dealt with. Not to get too deep in all that. But
that's a big one.
Yeah, because me personally, I'm a self-sabotage. I really am. And what it is the second it gets too good or something happens, I'm like, okay, I know where this is going. This person's she's finna leave me, or something's finna go wrong, or when she truly knows who I am, she's gonna get scared, and then I'm gonna mess. So let me go ahead and push her away before it happens. Yeah, that toxic shit. It's familiar. It's familiar. We love it. We praise Future. Yeah. We praise City Girls. We don't praise anyone that wanted. Like, yeah.
Those are good examples too.
Yeah. Oh,
very solid examples.
We love it. We love it. We love it until it's us. And then next thing you know, like, so I ain't gonna lie to you. Shout out to Blob. I love sitting back reading them dummy statuses. I love reading. It's stupid. Like, it's stupid. Like, you get with a dude. He's fucking 8 out of the 10 friends, and yet you expect it to work for you. Like, I don't understand that. I don't. And then one was fucking this person, and it didn't work out. I don't know. It's kind of entertaining, actually.
Yeah. Bam, ran through the click.
Ran through the click. Runs through it.
That's bad.
And once again, I don't shame anyone for being sexually free or liberated. But you just not gonna do that with me. You're not gonna do that with me.
You said you're not finna do that over here.
No, we not finna be out and it's 3 dudes, and all of a sudden I gotta wonder, was you hanging from the ceiling or was your neck off the edge of the bed? Like, no.
Was you hanging from the ceiling?
I'm not gonna, because you told me you liked me enough to do that. Now I see dude in the Charger. Did you do that for him too? Because I don't like the way you're looking at me.
Right. You learned this somewhere.
Yeah, you learned it. Yeah, you learned it somewhere.
Oh my God, y'all, so
you just didn't wake up one day doing this.
No.
You're too good. I know that's practice.
And dudes, and I'm insecure with that. Like, I'm insecure about that. And you know, me and we hang around other nasty dudes, so I know you was hanging with Tyrone, and I know some of the things he's done. I know. So now you want to come to me. Yes. And, you know what I'm saying? I love you, and I can't accept this. Like, I can't accept this.
Man, what kills me is when people be doing all that extra stuff, and then they want to be like innocent. Like, bruh, like just cut it. Like, just cut it. We already know. That's the whole reason I'm talking to you. I know what you do.
Good point.
Let's get your business.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
That hurts me to
I'm
my
signing
soul.
up for that. Yeah.
Right.
That hurts me to my soul, because now we got to play this merry-go-round. And I'm like, I don't care, ma'am. You know why I'm here. You know why I'm here.
You know why.
Let's not play this game. I don't care. I want my turn. I just want my turn.
Throw baby.
We ain't got to play these games. Like, we both grown. Let's go ahead and get this. Let's go. And I want what you did to him. I want that too. Because he told me about how good it was. And I deserve that. I deserve that.
That's one thing about men. Y'all definitely do talk.
Like, I heard you can do the splits while whatever. Like, that's what I'm trying to see.
I'm trying to see what that's like. I'm trying to see what that's like.
I'm dead. I'm like, can we even talk about stuff like that? Okay, well, I was like, yeah, it happened to me once when this was like last year, actually, in December. This guy I know for like a super long time. We had some great, amazing sex. And what happened? He told his friends about it. He invited me the next week, and I didn't know his friends were going to be there. So I walk in the room, and they're like, is this the girl? And they were like, and it was so quiet. You could hear a mouse fart in there. It was so quiet. And I was like, what's going on? He was like, oh, have a seat. They were like, yeah, you can sit right here. You can sit right here. And I was like, what is going on? Like, is this an intervention? Because I was a drinker. And I was like, yeah. And then after that, one of his friends hit me up and was like, yo, dude was talking about you did this and that. Like, what? And I was like, oh.
He was trying to see what the livery. That's why if dudes really love girl, he'll never let that be known. Or dudes will have his main girl. You never let. I want you to think this is boring as it gets, and I'm settled and I love it.
Won't tell nothing.
I'm not telling you nothing about that. But Keisha from down the street, listen. When I'm done,
hey,
I drop off by the house. Like, I don't know about the house.
He's definitely like, hey, so it's my birthday, so what's up? And I was like, huh? This is not like Uber Eats.
Whoa.
Order.
That's why.
I said, oh, you got me, you know.
But see, that's why you have to be careful with dudes. You got to be careful because it happened to me. I wasn't looking at this girl, no way. It didn't dawn upon me. I just saw her as a young lady. Then all of a sudden, dudes want to share extra story and news, and I'm like,
Oh no, see, no.
You know, I catch me looking upside the head sideways.
Man, listen, bruh, like there were so many times where like, man, like I was in other group chats with other dudes, and they were like dropping stuff in the chat. I'm like,
yeah, y'all do that.
I know her,
bro. That's what gets me.
I got class with her tomorrow.
I know her.
I'm like, and then what's kind of, you don't want to sound lame. You be like, she do all that, like, bro. I'm telling you, like, I tried to talk to her. She wouldn't give me no play. Damn, here she is off the headboard. Damn. You start a little bit about this shit.
Man, listen, it hurt your heart a little bit. You like,
dude.
She did all that for you.
When you see that video, bro, when you see that video
sandwich with me. And I was paying for the sandwich.
No play. And what's crazy, you go in there with an objective, knowing you finna slide that, and I'm talking about she playing crazy defense. She playing crazy. You like, oh, bro, come on with the layup. Like, damn, like,
right.
And you don't want to sound like, oh boy, for what's that, the wood? You like, damn, you like, what you call it here? I know I look better than
No.
him. Like,
No, because then you definitely not getting that after that.
Yeah, you definitely not. Yeah, you sound like a hater at this point. So you like,
yeah.
Oh
man, ain't getting
That's
that
funny.
thing.
No, then.
Where the heck did? Okay, yeah. So, with that said, man, y'all got anything else y'all want to add to the toxic relationship?
Oh,
I do. Go ahead, Frankie.
Oh, I was gonna say, I do know girls talk too. Yeah, because
I got a story about that actually.
Because I have a story because this was like way back because I knew this this group of people, and so yeah, so it's it's way younger days. So and it was weird because I'll throw in some names, so I'll make some big names. So pretty much, I knew Jennifer and Stephanie. I knew them because we went to summer camp together, right? And then I got and then I met. And so after that, knew him like that, forgot all about him. Then after that, I met Danielle, and I actually started dating Danielle. And lo and behold, Danielle fucking knew Jennifer, and they were like fucking BFFs like that too. And then Jessica, and then Jessica started dating my friend, right? Well, I was dating Danielle. I remember Jennifer was all kind of like upset because I was dating Danielle because Jennifer knew him first like that too. But then I forgot what happened. So then, so I forgot what happened like that too. And then down the line, Danielle and I like we broke up, right? And then and I never slept with Danielle at all, whatever like that too. But then somehow I got along about my fucking dick size to freaking to fucking Jessica, then fucking Jennifer, then Stephanie. God. And then there's a girl fucking Kansas that I didn't know. And this is weird because I knew people from like different groups like that too. But then I didn't know like behind that, like when they got together too, like as well too, because I was kind of like in and out. So I didn't know how convoluted everything was, right? Because then Candace knew my other friend Josh. And then so pretty much I ended up sleeping with Candace. And then after that fucking happened, Candace rang up fucking Jennifer and was like, guess who I fucking's like that too. And then so Jennifer knew like that too. And it's funny because then I think before that, because Stephanie was actually older and actually hooked up with Stephanie too. And then it was all just like that too. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That is
but then I found out from every different person like that too, like who said what, and then for a lot of like it was a game. So I'm like, if I do this,
so you would know,
yeah. So then I'm like, okay. So then that's the thing. So then it was like, okay, I only did this with Danielle, and at the time too, and I was kind of like what Reggie said. I didn't tell anybody anything Danielle did because for a while I thought, I was young, I was dumb. I thought Danielle was the fucking one. So she was a saint, right? But then, like my boy Josh, who was dating her cousin, I didn't even tell him because it's like, no, Danielle's a saint. We love her. We want to do whatever like that too. And then, lo and behold, fucking Danielle told fucking Jennifer. But luckily, like Jennifer told me that one. I was like, the hell, like the fuck. So then you go around again, and I'm like, okay, I'm not doing anything. And then I know Jennifer, she was going through her issues. So then by the time that I met up with Stephanie, and then we did for a little bit. So we did our thing, and then that kind of got around because that got around to Candace, and it was funny. And I think girls, they'll do it. They won't tell like a whole group. They'll tell specific people.
Okay, that's true.
But the thing is, since I knew all the people would be telling me, and they're like, oh yeah, this person told me. I'm like. And or they're trying to lie like, oh, Danielle told me that. I'm like, I remember when I told you, I'm like, I never slept with Danielle. And they're like, oh well, yeah, like it was Stephanie or it was Candace or
they just set themselves up for failure. Oh my God.
But I'm saying I'm just saying girls talk too. So now I made a new rule that once I with one person in the group, I'm not returning to that group ever at all.
That's a good rule, by the way.
I'm trying to slay him. I'm trying to slay him.
You're better than me.
I'm trying to slay.
I think if you go in, like no, if you go in and like that's like your goal, more power to you. Like that's all you like. But that's it because since I'm past, trying to and that's when I was younger and dumber. But the thing, it was funny though because you find out they talk because I didn't even go with them back to back. There was time in between them because like I said, I knew Jennifer and Stephanie like that too, but and I kind of grew up with them. Then we disappeared. Then I met Danielle. No, it's actually and then I got with Danielle because I was with Jennifer and Stephanie again. I met Danielle, so then it was Danielle and I for a while like that too. We did our thing, left. Then it was like, oh, got drunk with Stephanie. It was like, okay, cool, fun. We're two consenting adults. That's fucking fine, whatever, like that too. And then you start freaking hearing things, and it's like, oh, Jennifer told me that Danielle said this, and then blah blah. Jennifer bought this, and Candace did this, and blah blah. I'm like, oh. But I think the real loser of the story was probably Jennifer because I think she wanted to sleep with me the most, and she never got it.
Yeah, she was fucking pissed the whole time. Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm thinking about Jennifer this whole time.
Jennifer just talking to all of them about it, like, my turn is coming soon.
You ain't Jessica.
My turn is coming soon.
Yeah.
Started punching your air like on Boys Are Up, man. Boys Are Up.
This is for Jennifer right here.
Poor Jennifer. I hope you find you're looking for a girl. Yeah.
She gonna try to double back.
She might, Frankie. No, that bridge.
No, like that too. No, the only person that out of that whole group I'll double back for would be Danielle.
Oh, shout out to Danielle.
Okay.
Which funny
story. Danielle, if you listen,
you got a chance.
Frankie said it's cold.
Funny story though, because it's funny because I think the last time I had a chance, I actually ran into her at a store. But when I was still married, it was my wife. I'm like, oh, and my wife was like, why are you so weird like that too? I'm like, oh, hi.
Oh my God. So Frankie ran into her with his wife.
Yeah,
and his wife was like, "Why are you acting all funny?"
Yeah, because it was right back. It was right back when we got back to California because we're like that too. And it was like, oh, and like I totally caught me off guard. I'm like, oh, I still smell like an angel. I was like,
oh. That was his boo, baby. That was his boo thing.
We all have one. We all have like that. Just like no matter what, it sucks for everybody. You have that one or two people in your life that like no matter what, you got mad love for them, and nothing they could do unless they kill somebody. And even then, if it's not your family member, you still hold them in that high esteem.
I don't have anybody like
that. Crazy, but I love her though.
I stopped putting them on pedestals a long time ago. Because boy, I'm talking about.
Oh, no, she's not on a pedestal because she is a fuck like that too. I just hold her in high regard.
Yeah.
That was a great story, Frankie. Thanks for sharing that. That was interesting.
That damn Moxie, man.
Heather, what would you say?
That's what it.
Oh,
yeah, because you were asking us if we had anything else to say about the topic. Oh, okay.
Girls talk.
So girls definitely talk. But for toxic relationships, my only thing is like I honestly hate how social media glamorizes it, and I also hate how sometimes social media will also try to put that veil on everything. Like, oh no, this is a toxic relationship. Like trying to compromise. There's a difference. It's a thin line. Okay, I would say it's a thin line. But compromising, like if you're with somebody, you're gonna have conflict. You're gonna have to talk about some things that maybe are like, oh, I don't really agree with that, or like, that kind of thing, where you might have to twist and turn it a little where it's cohesive for both of you. That's not a toxic relationship. You can talk things out and find solutions and make the relationship work and it not be toxic. So I really just, honestly, at the end of the day, if people don't know what it is, if you're going to social media to figure out what the fuck it is, you are fucking up, first off. And secondly, this is why I always tell people they should honestly go to therapy. And I know I feel like we always mention this in any type of talk that I ever have with anybody. This is like always the resolution. Talk to a licensed professional who has a degree or something like that can tell you, like, this is healthy, this is unhealthy, this is codependence, this is being avoidant, this is being anxious, or, this is a trauma response, this is not. Because if you don't work through your own personal shit, you're not going to know, if you don't love yourself enough to work through your own shit, you're not going to love someone else enough to work through their shit too. And it's a lot to try to work through your own shit and someone else's at the same time. And then you're thinking you're toxic, but really you just haven't dealt with your trauma and you haven't dealt with your own personal problems. And you really need to do that first. So anybody out there who's trying to be in a real, actual committed relationship, not a situationship, not fuck buddies, I mean like a real relationship where you're really trying to establish permanence, then I highly advise you to do that.
Therapy.
But you gotta have self-awareness to want to do that, because most people don't want to do that. Yeah. Most people go into therapy wanting their therapist to prove that the person is wrong and they're right, and it's not how that works. It's just not how that works at all.
That's true too. That's a good point. Okay. Because how do you even know? Like, how do you even think of, like, how do you know you're wrong or the other person is wrong if you always think that you're right or that the other person's right? Because some people are like, I don't want to say simps, but some people are like, oh no, they're right. I got to do this better and do this better. It's really they're the problem.
But then once again, it goes back to that. It goes back to that trauma response as well. That's
Okay, well, on to topic number 2. Sneaky link etiquette. Okay. Sneaky
oh my God.
Link etiquette. What are the do's and don'ts of sliding through the night?
Hey man, you gotta set them boundaries. Man. You can't do. You gotta set them boundaries. You can't cross them, and if you cross them, it's gotta be repercussion for crossing. If you know this is a sneaky link, you can't be doing no extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can't be bringing me. You know what I'm saying? Grits and shrimp, and then expect me not to fall in love. That's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? you can't be, but then say you can't, like, you have to like establish the boundaries from the very beginning of it. Like, and I think most people think that, okay, this is cool. You have to understand that eventually things might change, but you have to, it can be whatever you want it to be. It can be whatever you want it to be, but you do. Like, you can't be doing relationship things, and then when it get our relationship, like, oh, this is not a relationship. This ain't a relationship. Like, oh, well, you're going to end up like the baby. You know what I'm saying? Taking pictures, kissing, and saying, well, it's not a relationship. Like, it look real relationship.
Right.
It looks real.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. You need to set your intentions, because if I don't know we're a sneaky link and everybody else does, first off, that doesn't even make sense. Because you're not being sneaky if your friends know that we're sneaking around. So that's A. And B,
got another story for that one. Not me, though. Not me, but
if we're just like Reggie said, I wholeheartedly agree, because if we're going around, we going out and eating, doing this and that, I'm at your house, you're at my place, we're talking about big shit like moving in and stuff like that. How am I supposed to know I'm a sneaky link? And that's why I always feel like people's intentions and where they're at should always be communicated, no matter what the situation is. If you are just fuck buddies, say that. If you're a sneaky link, say that. If you want, I'm dating to marry, I want to date you, just say that. I can't stand that.
I got to counter that, because not everybody can handle that truth. No, not everybody can handle that truth, because it's all like, I'm telling you now, it sounds really good and adult-like until you really start liking that person. And then all of a sudden they're like, look, I like fucking you, but I don't want to be with you. And then what happens is that person's like, you know what? I'm going to stay here long enough till I change your mind. And then what happens?
Dumb. I'm like,
then,
why are you doing that? If you don't want that, get the fuck out of there. And that's exactly how I feel. You're so right. You're so right. Because like a lot of women will be like, oh, well, I just want men to be honest. And then all of a sudden it's shoes and clothes thrown out the fucking apartment because
they want them to be honest as long as they're saying things that they want to hear.
What you want. Right. And I feel like I'm just being honest here. And any women who is listening to this, like, you can attack me, that's fine, crucify me. But I feel like a lot of women struggle with that. I'm sorry. But a lot of women struggle with that. There are some emotional men that struggle with that too. Especially entitled men that think that they can do whatever they want, but then the women have to abide by what their boundaries are, but they can't stick to the women's boundaries. That's another problem I have. But I do feel like women ask for honesty, and when they get it, they flip the fuck out. And I'm like, okay, not saying you can't respond to the honesty, but just what is wrong with you just doing what you need to do? You know, I found out, listen, after I got divorced and I got into the single world and was navigating these trials and tribulations, I was kind of like, there's a lot going on out here, right? But also, you know, a lot of the times, like, I feel like women take things so personally. I'm gonna beat your ass.
A lot of traffic out here.
I really am, y'all. But
gotta look both ways. You gotta look both ways, man.
So no, I just feel like I feel like a lot of women take things personally, and a lot of times it's not even about us. It's about what the other person's going through, and really on both sides. No matter what your gender is or what you identify with, it's really about the other person and their journey and where they're at in their life. If they're not ready to commit, you're not going to change their mind. Just like Reggie said, you know, you talking about, oh, well, let me stay with them. Maybe if I could just put it on him real good over and over and over again, he's going to change his mind. I used to think that. My dumb ass used to fucking think that. And I would be looking stupid when 4 or 5 months go by and nothing has changed at all. And you're sitting there disappointed. The only person you can blame is yourself. You know, like, just saying.
Hey, what's that girl from Love and Hip Hop? She's like, put it on and make him want to marry.
That shit is not real. That shit is not real. I'm telling you, that is not real. You got women singing it, thinking that shit really gonna happen, and it doesn't.
It's not. It's not. Because trust me, the degree of difference is only how much I like you. Like, there's not really that much. Like,
you can be the favorite. That's it.
Yeah, it really is. Like, that really changes like the whole encounter. Like, it's how much I like you. Like, granted, some people got a little bit more skills here or there or whatever, but the baseline is pretty much the same. Like, it's literally like everything's a freaking, almost everything's a BMW. You know what I'm saying? Like under the hood. Like, everything's a BMW.
It is.
I mean,
I'm even in the band. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, maybe this one does. Maybe this one drives a little better than this one, or the seats feel better than this. But ultimately, it's all the same. But what happens when pressure come in? What are we? I was like, okay, here we go. And most men go into a situation where they don't want it to change, and what it is, I learned that most men don't like hurting women's feelings. Because you can't
that means most of the time you ain't gonna get it again. That's what that means.
And that's why
I noticed that's very important for you guys.
That is
like a big deal for y'all.
Okay, but let's have to look it up. Sex is very important. Sex is very important. Like, people love to say sex is not important until they're in a relationship with somebody, and then that person cheats on them. Then all of a sudden, sex. But if it wasn't a big deal, why? You shouldn't trip them. It was just sex, remember? You know, it's not that important. It's not that important. Now all of a sudden it's important.
Or you ready to leave because it ain't good enough.
It ain't good enough. Exactly. Now, but once again, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, as dudes, it's hard. But then again, I also realize women, a lot of times during those encounters, you're not getting what y'all need as well. And y'all dealing with, you know what I'm saying? It's dudes lie. We manipulate women to get what we want out of y'all. But it's also a thin line to where y'all know who you're dealing with. As man, when I was dealing with when I was dealing with an ain't shit bitch, I knew the etiquettes for this. I knew what this was about. I didn't get my feelings because I knew that I was fucking with a toss-up. And that's what this encounter was. Now, what happens is when I get to trying to treat the toss-up more than what this established relationship is, then I look like a dummy. I look like a dummy.
Right.
Until she proves otherwise. But I mean, I've seen it time again. It's just, it's quite entertaining, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
White.
It makes for some really great stories later on.
Yeah, man. I'll say this though, like with sneaky links, like, man, I fucked up one time. Okay, like
you did.
So no, I think I told this story before to you, Heather. I think you heard this story before. So me and the girl, you know what I'm saying, like, man, on a little date. What was it? Was it black? Yeah, I think it was black dating app. You know what I'm saying? Swiping right. You know what I'm saying? And And then I invited her over to the room. This was when I was staying in San Diego. It was during the pandemic. So I invited her to the crib. There was no going out. You know what I'm saying? But I got, like, you know what I'm saying, steak, and I had like the wine bottle, like wine glasses, candles, all that stuff. Like ambiance set, you know what I'm saying? Basically I was like, I'm getting some tonight. That was my mission.
He's going raw. He's going raw that night. He got steak and wine.
I did.
See? That's skin to skin. My boy said, I want to feel it.
I was reckless. I was fully reckless, man. We was out on the balcony with it, man. Reckless. Like, but anyway, so look, all that occurred, you know what I'm saying? And then we woke up the next day and I took her to brunch. That's where I messed up at. Because then she was like, oh, he want to be with me. He want like this relationship and all this other stuff. And I'm just
and full disclosure, Smooth just likes brunch. He's one of those weird guys. Because he's like, hey, help me out with something. I'm like, all right, too. He's like, hey, do you want to get brunch? I'm like, so that's just Smooth's go-to thing. Like, he just loves brunch.
For him being him just being considered, say, hey, I'm eating. You want to slide with me?
Right. Like, it's right down the street. I'm just gonna walk right there. You know what I'm saying? They got the outdoor seating for brunch. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And so shoot, I sat down out there and was munching. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then she's over there talking about like all sorts of deep stuff with her child and all this other stuff, and I'm like, oh, I fucked up. Like as I'm drinking my water, I'm like, I need to drink more. Is this bottomless? Thank God, I need more.
Is this bottomless?
Yeah,
been there.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't think you understand like how terrible I'm being right now. Like I was with you last night. That's cool. Like, I'm going to old girl crib once I take a nap. Like, I'm finna take a nap and go to the other girl crib. Like during the pandemic, I was sliding, I was moving. Like, it was bad. But like, yeah, I messed up with the sneaky link. Like, me and her was just supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Then she ended up getting mad at me because I didn't text her one day. Like, she got mad at me and I was being petty, and I was like, man, you don't even have a right to be mad at me. Like, this was just a jump. Like, this was just like supposed to be a one-time thing. So if you're already mad and you don't want to communicate, you trying to cold shoulder me, cool. Blocked. And I blocked her like immediately. Like, and kept pushing. I'm like, if she want to talk again, she know where I live. She'll come knock on the door.
It's that simple.
She wants you to come back with some Brian McKnight shit and singing and all. Man.
Yeah, you put it on her, honey. No. So what is the rule then? Is it just one meal, like not more?
No, like, there should not be a morning. She was supposed to leave. Okay, she was supposed to leave.
I'm so bad at sneaky links, by the way. Like, I'm horrible.
She was supposed to leave. So I fucked up and let her stay in the moment because I was like, no, sit again in the morning. Don't sound too bad.
No, you did right. You did right because that's an awkward conversation as you get through doing, because you do it and afterward you like, so what you finna do? Because I'm about to go on in like,
yeah,
is this Uber going or like how you like? That's an awkward conversation. So I can see why you're like, you know what, we can slide this thing in the morning and then because most people most people know that sleeping is like by 7 o'clock. It's checkout time. You got to be out by 7 o'clock. Like,
absolutely.
How about sunrise?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I try to
I ain't
get
gonna lie to you. When I was out there doing that, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like 5:30, I'd get up, just leave, go home, and go to sleep. Like it was like I went in there sleeping comfortably. I'm in there like, I don't need to be in here. Boy, I'm talking about 5:30. Yeah, I gotta go to work. I was off.
I have a thing about that too. Like, I don't like. Why am I spending the night if you're not trying to? Like, I don't know. I mean, unless I'm super tired or drunk or something like that, cool. But as soon as my eyes open, I'm out of there. I'm gone. Like, I can't.
That's not bad.
I mean, I feel like it's the right thing to do. Like, you don't want the awkwardness to linger, like Reggie was saying. Yeah.
Not everybody think that. Not everybody think that.
Unfortunately.
I done cooked breakfast before one time.
I have seen a sneaky link blow up epically, and it was hilarious.
What happened?
Okay, so with this sneaky link, there's two people, and they were together for a while, and then and they broke up, but then they decided to be sneaky links. Well, I think, and this is where it's confusing because one person's like, nah, like we're just because he told me he's like, nah, he's like we're just hooking up, we know what it is, blah blah blah. But the thing is, like, I'm friends with both of them. So then she's all like, oh, yeah, he said, like, wouldn't it be good to, like, if we could get back together or blah, 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 like that too. So they're all two totally different pages. And then she kind of knew what it was. And then she's like, what do you think? And I'm like, trust your gut. That's all I said.
Frankie was back.
I'm like, I'm not saying anything. I'm not adding one way to the other. And the thing,
which was smart.
To be fair, I didn't even go call him up and give him a warning, like, yo, dog, like, she thinks you're. I let it play.
Right.
No, I just let it play. I'm like, just trust your gut, because I remember because it came to a head because she because I got her to take me to the airport because I was actually going to the airport because I was so I said, hey, because I know because she's always up late, so I'm like, hey,
okay.
I'm like, can you take me to the airport at this time or the flyaway? And it was like that too. She's like, and she's like, what time? I'm like, oh, because I'm taking like a red-eye flight. And she's like, oh yeah, no problem. Because I think my flight left like at like 4 a.m. So she's like, oh yeah. So then she's talking about, she's like, oh, well, about blah blah blah. And she's talking to me about it, and she's like, yeah, she's like, I know I'm stupid, but I feel like we're going back to this, and we're gonna be together. So I've been going over there, and I'm kind of thinking, I'm kind of like, because like I talk to my bro like all the time. So I'm like, yeah, that's not what I'm hearing. But I didn't even say that. I was like, okay. I'm like, and I said, I don't know, but I'm like, trust your gut. I'm like, if you think something, and that's it, because she wasn't sure. And so all I said was like, if you think something's wrong, something might not be there. So just trust your gut. Well, apparently I went to Georgia, and then I came back, and then shit blew up. Because then she's all like, oh, blah, blah, blah. So then pretty much because she was upset because then I think she realized that, hey, she's actually like the sneaky link. And then she's like, oh, well, she's like, well, I went and she's like, and it was like, and Alan was trying to get at me, and here's some blah, blah, blah. And it's like that message.
Whoa,
and I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
That should blame you.
But it did. So definitely the rules are be clear and concise on what you want. Don't add anything to it, because honestly, there was 2 totally different stories that what each person was getting. And like with Smooth, with the brunch thing, I don't really blame Smooth because that's what he does in general. So if you know him, that's what he does. So and that's why I decided to bring that part of the story, because because we were like in North Hollywood. And he's like, hey, I'm about to make some mimosas. I'm going to get some like that, too. And I'm like, oh, no, dog. I can see I already ate breakfast, So, and every time we do something in the morning, Smooth's like, yo, like, we're going to get brunch. So that's Smooth likes brunch. So if you're doing to what you treat them as you are a friend, then the guy or the girl does not have to feel bad when it blows up. But if you're doing extra shit to keep them there, you should not do that. And that's pretty much.
I agree with that.
Because I know people. Shit. Yeah, because people like they make up like, oh, like if once you start doing like that extra shit, like you're doing that extra shit for a reason, and that's when you get that attachment and everything, and then you feel then you get vindictive, like, oh, well, I did this, and then I'm like, that's good.
You feel entitled, like they owe you
but it's like, no, it's like,
don't.
and it's kind of like a sneaky link for how everything is. We're just friends that happen to have sex.
Yeah. Right.
So and so it's like I do this with my friend like that too. And if we're best friends and like you have to put it in a tier too. So like if we're best friends and we're having sex, I'm doing this for you because you're my best friend, not the fact that I'm giving it to you. And that needs to be well established because I saw it blow up epically and it was looking back at it, it's hilarious. And now it's like now like none of us are the same because after that happened, she fucking ghosted me all across the thing too. I'm like, you better because actually it sucks because like her grandma died. So I was like, oh, like, hey man, like I heard about your grandma, really, really sorry. Because that's the thing, because we talked about stuff besides her shit too. So it's like we were actually friends. So I'm like, I heard about that too. And I'm like, oh, we're not cool. And I'm like, oh, what? She said what? I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, stay hidden. Because once I see you, like you're gonna get it.
You're gonna get it.
Yeah, no, it's like you're talking because it's like don't talk nonsense and don't do something just to hurt somebody when you knew what was happening when you went in. Because and I guess on the other side too, if you know what else the person is doing because you guys are sneaky links, don't get delusional about yourself because I think sometimes on people on each side they get delusional because then
motherfuckers start reading. They start reading into things. They start reading into things.
Too deep.
Well, no, because it's like it's like if Heather and I were like she's my sneaky link, right? And I know that, but then it's like she canceled on her date for blah blah blah. I can't read it into be like she canceled because of me. It's like it's going
because of me, right?
Or, because the thing is because like I know she's dating other people, so like I can't be like. Oh well, they're just blah 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 until I do whatever. It's like no, like I have to take out what she says at face value, and I cannot add to it and try to change the narrative. And I think that's what people do on both sides of it as well too.
A lot of the time.
So a lot of the time. Be honest. Don't do anything extra, and don't change the narrative.
Facts.
That's some pretty solid advice, to be honest.
Man, very solid.
But let's define extra shit. Because this one time, I was with this guy. This was way back. I think I was like, so I'm 27, right? This was way back when I was like 21. I met this guy.
21.
I met this guy and we had sex and he fucking loved it. And so he was like, oh, well, spend the night. I can make dinner. Da, da, da. I didn't say nothing. I still assumed my role because I knew I was a sneaky link. He was like talking to this other girl or whatever, and I wasn't trying to be with anybody really. I was just trying to see what the D was like, so it was fine. I was like, okay. I was like, are you sure? Because I was really about to go home, and he was like, no, like stay, please. I was like, okay. That was day one. I spend the night again. That was day two. He does the same thing. Buys dinner, cooks. Okay. He bought dinner, and then the third day, same thing, right? But this time he cooked. Like he was like, yeah, my mama makes this chicken. Da, da, da. I was like, what the fuck? You know, like, okay. And I'm just going. I'm going with the flow. I'm like, okay.
Oh, you messed up.
You fucked up. You should have went home.
I definitely.
You should have went home.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
You didn't camped out. You got a toothbrush.
I definitely stayed. I definitely stayed a little bit long. So I was like, okay,
you got a side of the bed and everything. Right?
You got a drawer.
Going with the flow. Because I'm open to things changing. If he would change his mind, I'm not doing anything. Like you're my sneaky link, but I'm not really fucking anybody else. I knew he had things going on, so I was just open to whatever. It didn't matter to me. So he was like, "Oh yeah, we're just friends." I was like, "Okay, cool." But then he cooks like 3 or 4 days in a row and has me stay over. Like, please stay. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then I leave, and I think after that, maybe like a month or two later, like we're going on dates and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I'm still gonna assume that we're sneaky links. So one of maybe this is fucked up, but one of his friends was like, ooh, I guess he had been talking about me, and so one of his friends was like, oh, hey, what's up, Heather, blah blah. And I'm very on this.
Damn, I look like fucking legendary. They got that. All friends like, yo, you
right.
Anyways.
He messed up though. He messed up.
I'm nasty.
He violated.
Yeah.
He violated. He should have never told his friend. But look, keep going.
That's how I felt. So I took offense because I'm like, why are you telling other people about what we're doing? Aren't we sneaky links? Like, why are you telling people what we got going on? So he was like, yeah, I know you and him, blah, 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 be doing this and that. I was like, yeah, we do. Because I'm honest and I'm an open book. Like, I don't really care. So, but at the end of the day, it was just the principle of the point because he established that we was on the low. So I'm like, okay, so your dudes know, but like, what? So I'm just out here, like, you putting my shit out here like that.
I would have bought a
And
billboard
at the
outside
same
his house.
time, right, I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, well, you know, like we're still friends and stuff. You know, I'm asking him, like, I reassessed the situation. Not what are we, but yeah, you know, sneaky link or whatever, right? You know, we good. And he was like, oh yeah, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. He was like, yeah, I'm not even ready. I'm not even emotionally available for people, blah, blah. I'm like, cool. So I go fuck one of his friends. Don't care. I was like, I'm good, you know, whatever. So I guess his friend was like, yo, Heather was this and that. Oh my God, you was that, and whatever. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck, because at the time I was a little bit wild.
Hold on. There's so many violations in this story right now. Hold on. One,
I know.
Hold on. One. So look, fellas, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. One, okay, you was there too long. All right. Two. Once the homie said something to you about it, you should have dipped off. 3, you fucked the homie. Like,
no, the reason why she fucked the homie was because he was running his mouth. So I get she was being
no.
petty.
I mean, in retaliation, I guess, but
that's
still,
that's because I like petty.
To fuck the homie though.
No, she was fucking being
I
petty.
can acknowledge. Yeah, I was, and I acknowledge that was kind of fucked up a little bit. But I was in my young 20s, like I didn't care. Hey, what's up? So yeah, so I was like, I didn't give a shit about that. I'm like, you out here running your mouth anyway. You want people to know, so I'm gonna go ahead and fuck them. Like, don't.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing with that.
What?
Homie got to take that L, and I'm gonna tell you why.
That's what I'm saying.
He got to eat the L.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, hold on. I just want to know how close was them two though.
Are they close?
They weren't that close.
She wasn't wrong. I messed that up. She wasn't wrong. The homie was low key a little bit wrong for fucking her, just a little bit. But he does gotta hold that L.
Yeah, he gotta hold it.
I was just like, it is what it is, because you're telling me, right, and this is where communication is key, because you're telling me we're a sneaky link. So why are you running your mouth? And that pissed me off, because I'm like, no, like, we're on the low or whatever. You got me over here every night, which, okay, yeah, I fucked that up. Got it. You know, but I'm just, you know, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, if you want to move in the direction of doing something more, like, we can do that, but say that. But he didn't say that, so I stopped doing what we was doing. I fucked his friend, and I never doubled back and was like, yeah, let's continue. Like, no, I was just like, it's a done deal.
He'd have took you back.
Well,
he would have.
So he would have still. He would have
gave the about it. He would
absolutely, and you know that. See, and other women know that. But yeah, it was just the principle of the point. Like, don't run your mouth and say that we're sneaky links. You know, like, don't do that. Like, if we're either this or that, like, you know, and men, y'all make it so clear cut. Y'all just like, no, if it's this, like, play your role. You know, like, y'all want us to stay in our lane so damn bad, but then y'all can't stay in yours. And then I'm just like, no, don't act like that. Don't act like that, man.
I stay in my lane. I don't read your phone. I done seen text messages that hurt my heart. And from that day forward, I learned to stay in my lane. It ain't got phone could be ringing beside. I'm not touching that thing.
Right. Well,
see, it's kind of like the story that I told, where the other person tried to be petty as well too, but she actually didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because she just told him. She didn't say, "Oh, yeah, we did this." So I was like, "Oh, I love the pettiness." So especially when it doesn't involve me. So I mean, because I think with my story, like if we did something, I would have been like, "All right, you have to hold it." But like we did it, and she said it, so I think that's why I was mad at her, and she's gonna get it because I know I'll see her again. I'm like, you said what?
Right, like you were running your mouth, like.
But yeah.
And I'm very upfront. Like I'm very, you know, most of the time I try not to be like confrontational, but like no, as soon as I hear, oh, okay, so you running your mouth, right? I thought we were sneaky links. And he was like, oh, well, we are, blah blah, like you know, we just friends, but. I'm gonna do my thing while you do yours. And okay, so yeah, I was being petty because I knew it was his friend, and I knew they had talked and stuff, and so you know, but I was still kind of like, I was salty because I was like, what?
So in being salty, okay, you tell me if you don't want to answer this or not. Like, were you extra with the friend, like to be extra?
You know she was.
Hey, I had a reputation of
she had to show out.
Hey, you can't hold that Fifth Amendment now.
Right.
She's like, oh, he's like, he told you everything. Let me give you the director's cut.
Right, like you're gonna know, and of course he also came back and read his mouth too, and I was like, okay, but then I don't like doing the whole thing with the circles, Frankie, like you said, I don't like that because then that's when you start being the pass around. You don't want that.
Yeah, he cried at the house like she did what? She did what?
I know he was sick,
bro. I've been there. That's a sick feeling. That's a sick feeling.
He texted me and was like, and I was like, you was running your mouth. You want people to know, right? So I was being a bitch, though. I was being a bitch.
I bet you that B word and that H word was flying so smooth.
Oh, you know what? You know what?
I hate her. I hope she never comes back, bro.
It wasn't even all that good, no way.
Right. Look, you wasn't saying none of that when.
Meanwhile, he looking at her Instagram crying that night.
He hit me up last year and was like, "Hey, I heard you got divorced. How you doing?" And I was like, "Nope."
Heard you got divorced. Leave me alone.
Bam. She's legendary. I'm telling you, she is legendary.
Had him crying all motherfucking night.
That's not how you restart a conversation, though. Anyway.
No, he's doing that thing from the Wolverine, the meme with Wolverine. Looking at the photo.
But yeah, I felt bad though because I would have been a lot more dignified if I would have been like, "Oh well, like I'm not cool with that," and just walked away from it. But I was adding fuel to the fire. Plus, my ego was so big. I was 21, like
plus, but now he looks different, so now he won't do that again.
Fuck it.
Sometimes you gotta get your lick back to let them know you're not to be fucked with. Okay, like
absolutely.
For real.
And now he learned his lesson, so now
I think you're right about that.
Like sometimes you gotta show somebody something so they'll know what's up. Yeah, for real. Because shit can get reckless if you want it to be there.
Yeah, and it did. Like, I was like, nah, shut up.
Man, bro.
Nobody else is talking.
No, see, I just know, like, the conversation at the crib is sick now. Like, hey, bro, you remember Heather? Like, he's sick.
But it's an awkward conversation. It's an awkward conversation now because now they just, you know what I'm saying, like, it's
they probably asking what you did with them to each other. And he's gonna be like,
yeah,
they gonna be looking at each other like,
oh, she did.
Like,
oh, yeah, she did that for me too. She got it from me, really. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He hitting that Bruno Mars right now. This bitch got me
smoking out the window.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Man.
I was just like, leave me alone.
Nah, I haven't had like one of those, but I've had a like a little recent moment of I'm not the only person. No, nigga. Like, no. You got me fucked up. How are you gonna sit up here and say you're not getting married, you're not gonna be in a relationship, this, that, and the third, but then turn around and be like, well, it's only been me and you.
Right, we all know what that means.
Nigga.
Yeah. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Right, I'm like, we're not falling for that. It's 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, even if it was, like, my thing is, don't tell me all of that and then want relationship benefits when you obviously stated that this is nothing that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that makes no sense at all. Like, please make it make sense how you calculated in your head that, oh, it's just me and her, but I don't want a relationship. Why would I try to go somewhere with you if you told me we're not going anywhere? Like, you think I'm a stagnant bitch? Like, try again.
This is moving. We are
fellas.
Wrong one.
Establish a good game plan up front and be honest with your possible intentions. You can always go backwards. You can always say, hey, yo, I want a relationship, and then you can walk it back. You know what? Upon getting to know you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we were better off as friends, you know.
Nah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can keep fucking, maybe not. Like, you can walk that backwards. You can't.
My thing is don't cut me off. Just don't cut me off. We can walk it back. Just don't cut me off. We can walk it back as far as you want to go. Just don't.
He said, at least text me, call me something.
That's it. Man. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
delete a brother out your life.
Don't do that.
I got mad deleted out somebody's life. Like she didn't like she recently like unblocked me like sometime in 2021 just randomly because I just was drunk and like was randomly like, oh, I'm gonna text her, and I hit send and it went through. Like it went through. I said, oh,
that bitch turned blue.
Yeah, it was blue and it said delivered. I said, hey, yo. I was in shock.
What did you think was gonna happen?
I said, oh, I didn't think this door would ever be open again.
That boy sobered up so fast.
Man, I did, low key. I did.
Whoa.
And then I had to walk myself backwards and not call. Like I had to walk myself back.
No,
I was drunk. I was in my feelings. Like I was ready to give her the whole like speech. I want you back, baby, blah blah. Like I was ready.
You was listening to Drake's Take Care album.
I really was crying.
I'm saying, Rose. Bitches in my old phone.
I want to go home.
I got to go.
The woman that I would try.
Everyone good guy. And nigga kicked in.
What? I'm gonna call you and say, what? That's all shit too.
Right.
That's so funny.
Been there.
Oh, bro, you said you gotta go, bro?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Pain,
so.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good to see you, Frankie.
Thanks for having me on.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Frankie.
Oh yeah, you missed it, Celine. I was all jacked up earlier.
Man, see,
He's on the action, bro.
the way my life is set up, I just started getting paid for real on Instagram. So I be having to make my videos, and I was in the middle of making a video.
Well, that's cool.
And Smooth hit me and was like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Hey." And he's like, "You good?" And I'm like, "Oh shit."
Oh shit. Yeah. That always happens to me every Tuesday. So I feel you.
Oh man. Oh, my teeth. And that hurts. Oh yeah. That's my
Ow. Oh yeah.
He said he allergic to us, y'all.
No.
No. He in legitimate
surgery
pain.
and I'm in recovery.
It's hurting.
So I'm on Oxy, but I just sneezed right there and I'm like, and I hurt like a bitch. So
Yeah.
Ow.
Oh man. But it was nice seeing you guys. So have fun.
Yep. Good having you as always, my brother.
All right.
My brother.
All right. And then that was 4 again. So no, so okay, so yeah, man. So I guess to like walk through this one, don't be like if you can avoid them staying in light, like try and avoid it, man. Like just try and avoid it. I try to leave. Like that's why normally I'll go over there so I can leave.
Me too. I never let people come to me and fuck me in my house. Like I never do that. Like I will come to you. And I'm also really big on like energies and stuff. And like I don't want like people's energy in my house and stuff. I don't know. I'm very like spiritual in that way. Like I don't like but I will do that and leave my energy at your place. Like you can handle that, but no.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be in there with that sage like
amen, right? So I was like, no, I'll come over there and then I can leave as I choose. I got my whip, I can jump in, I'm out. It's fine.
Yeah. Especially when people get weird and they want to like you get over there and then they want to argue. Like as soon as you get there, I'm like, yo, what is this? What is it? I did not sign up for this. Like, why are we arguing? Why are we even talking?
Hold on.
Wait a minute. I ain't gonna lie, I have this guy just messed up in the head. Like because I was over there in the morning, I get up, I gotta go. Like I'm, getting my shit going, walking out the door, and he was like, You not gonna cuddle, nigga? I'm not about to cuddle with you. Bye. I gotta go. Shit I gotta do. Like
right.
He calling me, he texted me, was like, is my 3-week trial up?
I'm crying. I'm crying.
Bro went outside.
You had a 24-hour trial, my nigga. You was done a long time ago. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right.
My nigga said it's his 3 weeks trial. That's crazy.
Fan found out he was a Blockbuster rental and got disappointed.
Oh, that's
Wait, what?
Those are obsolete.
You was put back on the shelf, baby. What?
Hey, he was hurt for real. I can only imagine.
He had a day pass. Blockbuster said, "Hey, we need that."
This shit don't work. There ain't no sense scanning with that. It don't work. That don't work. Don't scan it no more because it don't work.
Expired. Would you like to read it?
Go and put their card information in.
Right, man. I need a new email.
Unsubscribe. I can't. It's my 3-week trial over. Shut the fuck up. I hate guys like that.
I almost didn't respond. I ain't gonna lie. I responded and I said yes.
It was too good for that.
So what did you
It was
say?
too good for that.
So what did you say?
I said yes.
Damn.
It is over.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
Oh, I know he was hurt. He sat there, man. He sat there just hugging his pillow like, dang. Man, I got this one memory.
Like, usually it's me to the other person. I was like, hey, meet me there. You feel me?
Absolutely. I'm right there. Yes.
Meet me there, be there. Because, baby.
That man took a shower just staring off in the distance, letting the water in. He didn't take a shower. He's just looking at it like, damn, where did I go wrong?
Man, he in there like playing Frank Ocean. he a different type of man.
Oh no.
A potato.
Damn, that hurt.
I mean, and it's the ones like that, they needed it. They needed it to happen. I don't even care. They needed it. Because you've been breaking people's hearts and being a dick this whole time. And when it happens to you, oh, is my 3-week trial up? Because you've been 3-week trialing bitches left and right this whole time.
Exactly. That's what you get from.
Or
Or you should know what this was when it started.
Yeah,
like, you should know what this started. It was over before it started, baby. What? Like
that ass.
Or that could be his villain origin story.
Huh?
And you just made a villain.
Yep.
I really hope not.
Yep. Yeah, her slaughter. Yeah, her slang.
Look, don't
now he out there just dogging.
Right. Yeah, come on now.
Walking them because of you.
Right. He said they got a 3-hour trial.
Bro.
The way my life is set up, better him than me. Shit.
Like, hey, you gotta go. You gotta go. 12 o'clock is coming in.
Just because he got his fitness together. He putting him through the mattress now.
Reggie.
She said she is a savage. And I'm like,
man.
She doing the TikTok dance.
We got the whole choreography there.
But for real. I changed my iCloud name to Hell and High Water. So when I call people, that's what show up.
That is crazy. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's crazy.
So, does anybody have anything else to add on sneaky link etiquette? Anything?
No. I do. Because, I mean, I kind of missed a lot.
Okay, go ahead.
Don't call me after 8 p.m. because I might be with my real nigga. I
mean, that's fair though.
Don't just call me. You gotta shoot a text message.
It has to be scheduled.
No, you gotta set. It's appointments by appointment only.
Yeah, it has to be scheduled. I understand that. Huh?
There is a you gotta feed me, gift me, throw money on me when I'm at work fee. Like, you're not about to just, yeah. Like,
all this for a sneaky link?
Baby, This
That's
is
crazy.
Texas. What do you mean?
This is top shelf.
This is
I
paradise.
mean,
when you
when she's at
you
work.
are not gonna want to leave. I'm just
Okay, when you at work, okay.
So
When she's at
So
work.
you had to catch it before she at work.
Or after work. Like you just don't catch it at work.
Not make that appointment. It's appointment only. So
that appointment only, and it's appointment to throw because I got somebody else that's coming to throw some. Like the way my life is set up, it's a lot of people that can't touch me though. Like just because you have to like. I already have a certain type of standard, and I've said it plenty of times before on here. I am here with a lot of things for the simple fact of where I came from. So I am not going to go here just because I had left someone. They set standards to here, so therefore they're going to be here or higher. I'm not going to go down in the way that you treat me. And if you can't abide by those rules, then move on. Like, find somebody that's going to accept whatever you're willing to give. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, like you're gonna abide by my rules, or you're gonna get the fuck. Like I'm not about to sit up here and keep on playing these games. Like I had somebody tell me like they don't they like are in their role of like getting into business and stuff, like they're working on their stuff. But they also, like, relationship-wise, they seen their parents married their whole life, but at the same time, like, don't believe in monogamous relationship because of how he watched his dad. So my thing is, at the end of the day, if you just don't want to be in a one-person relationship, then just say that. You don't got to use your dad as an excuse. Yeah, you watched it, but that's an example of what not to do as well. So you can't just use it as a one-way example. But it's stuff like that where it's like, with sneaky links, either that's what you want to be or you don't want to be that. You can't sit up here and have your cake and eat it too. You want me to yourself, but yet you with Trina, Carisha, and fucking JT. I ain't got time for that shit. Like, nah, we not.
Absolutely.
Who can play at that game? Have you ever seen the movie, baby? What? Like,
absolutely. Yeah, that's so true. We were just talking about that earlier too. Because I feel like it's not, it's one-sided, and it's like, no, I feel like a lot of guys think that we just settle for anything, because we want a relationship so bad, or we want something so bad, or the dick is that good that we just gonna settle for that. And I'm like, no, we both gonna be doing that. And I'm very cutthroat about that too. Like, if you're doing your own thing, trust me, I'm definitely doing my own thing too.
Because I'm like, the way my life is set up, you better. I'll be telling them like, you gotta catch me when you can, because I'm a gingerbread man. You feel me? Like I'll be.
I know you did that.
I'll be saying with all this because like, if you gotta apply some major ass pressure just to even like lock me down on some shit. Like you gotta be applying pressure because I pay my own bills. I take care of everything by myself. So at that point, like. You telling me you want to get my nails and toes done? Well, baby, I spend $250. If you're not coming with that or more, what are you doing? I had somebody send me $100 saying, "Get your feet done, baby." I spent $160. That didn't you took care of a little over half, but you're not matching my own. If you can't even match my energy. Then what the hell do I even stick around for?
Yeah, you don't need
that.
He's short. What am I gonna do with this? What the rest
gotta hit the.
It was Frank looking real lonely.
He thought he was getting a first down. They done pulled up the sticks. Like, nah, fam, it's not quite there. Not quite.
Look, I'm over here like.
Mr. Franklin looking real lonely.
She's like, where is it at?
I understand. Respect.
Where is it? Yeah.
Up the stove.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, that's my little remarks. Sorry I'm late though, but
you all good. It's gravy. It's gravy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last topic is what Heather wanted to talk about. Who leaves a relationship first?
Oh yeah, so I was just talking to my friend about this. So anyway, there's this guy that I'm about to start dating, and Yeah. So we were talking about it, and I feel like it's always okay. I want y'all to hear me out. I feel like men usually because I was talking to him and he said that it's always the women. Y'all are always the first ones to cut it off. And I was like, I feel like sometimes whether it's the woman or not, I feel like the woman has to cut it off because y'all won't. Sometimes I feel like men, y'all just sit there and y'all just let everything be shitty and go to shit and it's fucked up and y'all won't say nothing. Y'all just cheat or you just argue or whatever. That's all. And then, but I'm like, okay, if you want to leave, just go. Like, just go. Why do you keep doing all this stuff and being stupid and making mistakes and lying and cheating? Like, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. So the woman has to be the one to put her foot down most of the time to say, you know what? I'm done. I'm not doing this. This is stupid, which is crazy, but that's my take. What y'all think, though?
I'll take this one. Okay, so I'm going to say that women don't leave physically first, but I do feel like that they leave mentally, emotionally, then physically. Right. Men, how they view, so when a man has a woman typically, and let's say like he's fucking up or whatever, and let's say like he goes and cheats and he comes back and he doing stupid shit, but he still is around. The reason why he does that is because he's not finding anything better than you, and he can't let you go because you're the best thing in his life, even though he argues, even though he cheats, even though this, that, and third. It's when he goes and does that, he's still thinking about you, wanting to be with you, coming home to you. So men don't want to let you go. They don't want to because they know they got a good thing, but it's like, fuck, why can't we get it right? Only if we can get it right type of deal.
That makes sense.
So to me, women will leave first, but it's not necessarily physically all the time. Now, some women are like cut off. Like mine has gotten way better than, I've only had one relationship. Again, go look at the past podcast because I don't really want to get too much into that. But me, I definitely left emotionally first, then mentally, and then physically. It got to the point to where emotionally and mentally I was gone. Physically I was still there, but when I started not wanting to kiss him and not even wanting him to touch me, and that's when for sure that we are done. Like we are absolutely 100% done. Like you become disgusted with that person for the simple fact of all the buildup over time. But my thing is like, women, I feel like we should start thinking about leaving physically first. But I do think overall we do leave mentally and emotionally first, and we do tend to cut it off. But it's like, guys, if they cut it off, they cut it off in the beginning, But if you're in a relationship with that woman, it's harder to cut it off. While you're in a relationship. If y'all like in the talking stage, about to become boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, it's easier for them to, move on because you're not my girl anyway type deal. They gonna
they like.
But when they in a relationship, I feel like it's harder for them to let go because when guys get in a relationship, they 9 times out of 10 they really, they really fucking with you, but it's like. Yeah, I feel like it's harder for them to leave because men are stuck in their ways. They used to a routine. They like their routine. If you ever been, being around men, they got, it's something off. You feel me? So it's like, they got their routine. They want to go home to their old lady, even if they go off to something else, but they want to be home with their old lady at the end of the day. So it's like, men are harder to walk away than women are. I feel like so.
That was really well said.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that was very well said.
So I agree, but I disagree.
How do you follow that?
Yeah.
It's hard. That's why I ain't saying that. I was like, ugh.
I'm trying to figure out like how to properly articulate my response back.
I was about to go into the store just to get this because she was with the heat. She was in the bag for this one. She was in the bag.
Real quick before y'all get into it, I gotta go too. So I'm about to head out. But it's so nice to see you, Celine.
Nice to see you as well, Heather.
Bye, y'all. Y'all be
good. All right, see you.
Okay.
Holla.
How the fuck did I get out of here?
Oh my God.
Network 3.
Look, you know, look, I got you. I'm gonna help you. There she go. Okay.
Oh my.
All right, hold on. This went.
There.
Okay, there you go.
I was gonna do
yeah, I was like, I didn't even know which way to go myself.
Do an electric
All right, so for me, oh man, I feel like
I agree. Okay, so I agree to an extent. I don't think that we can't find anything better. Mm-hmm. I think it's just flat out we want it to work, but it's just not working. So what we go out and find, we'll find little pieces that we're missing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And when when y'all fussing and fighting, the first thing to go is sex. So most dudes are like, you know what, cool, I don't want to leave, so let me get a little piece on the side, get my mind straight, and deal with this back home. And I don't think women don't work that way because the last thing on their mind is sex. They're like, I don't want anybody else. I want to fix this, but apparently since the pussy getting in the way, let me cut it off and see if we can fix it that way. But as far as a man, I don't think it's that we find, because as a man, we always know we can always find something. It's not hard. It's always there's always somebody out there willing to get with us, but we want this to work. We just don't know how. So like I said, I totally agree with everything you said, especially with the women leaving last physically. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's not looking for anything better. It's just I'm missing pieces here. I can't put it in here.
Add it up together.
Yeah.
You know, because with both, you're getting but at the same time, it's still not everything, because at home, you know, it's like, damn, like I think I said it, like, you know, they don't want to leave, you know, they want it to work, but it's like,
that's why I was great. Like, so you were like, I mean, honestly, you were spot on.
You was on point. Yeah, you was on point.
Yeah, it's like, because to me, like, I feel like when I was getting cheated on, obviously, like, well, I can't even say that I was cutting him off even. Like, honestly, like, just, I honestly can't even, I don't even know how I came up with that thought, because like he would get mad at me if I said no. So it's like I was just, because I don't want to argue. I don't want to like sit up here and, you know, like be you know, so it's just like, all right, just whatever. Like,
let's go ahead and get this out the way.
Get the fuck. Like, I'm not even about to sit up here but it's like, you know, balls empty, stomach full. That's how I feel. So it's like,
I mean, that's a very positive philosophy. It works.
But you know, some dudes just, and as
some guys are just,
I was like, there's no justification for cheating whatsoever. I mean,
you
can, you know what I'm saying, and you can find justification if you're looking for it, but on the ethics side, there's no justification for it. You're just not happy, just dip.
Yeah, I just feel like it's more so, it could be an ego thing, or it could be like a past relationship. I do believe you can be in love with two people at the same time, or not even necessarily in love with two people, but still love someone and be in love with another person at the same time. Or, you know, like a lot of people have a lot of things that go on with their internal self. So it's like, I mean, I've been in situations to where, like my heart is here, but I'm over here, you know, or like it be messed up, but it's like, you know, that's when you got to speak up, you know, like people you don't want to disappoint your significant other. So it's like, it's hard to speak up sometimes when you don't want to disappoint someone that you actually really care about, with the thought of that might be the last conversation or the last time or the last of anything that y'all have going on. So it's like, that's another thing. Like, a lot of men don't know or realize what they have or had until it's out the door.
Yeah.
Bruh.
And, well, at least on my end, I ain't never had not one person try to double back.
The whole thing. You think the grass is green on the other side? Like it really seems that way until you was like, well, where I was at wasn't as bad as I thought it was. But when you missed it, like I said, you can't see the forest because of the trees. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. This desk has wheels, man. I was trying to readjust myself. I was like, shit. I was tired of sitting back. I felt like I was sinking into the couch, man. Going into the sunken place.
Don't drink that tea.
No, I ain't drinking no tea. No, but I do have this little sound bowl.
Oh, that's cool. That was like peaceful to my heart right there.
Yeah. I like it. I like that a lot, man. I'm working on my energy, man. My zen.
I do so. That's why I'm like that. That's what like. A little, hold on, did that all again? Look.
Hey, man, the weirdest thing I like to do is just lay down on the floor and just be. Yeah. It's like for a while I was like, that's so corny, but it feels so soothing just to lay on the floor and just be for a second. Like even if it's for 5 minutes, I feel so recharged. So yeah.
Yeah, you feel very grounded, you know.
Yeah. Cause boy, but yeah, I don't like. Yeah, I really can't say too much about my last relationship due to the stuff that's going on in court because I don't want to get flagged for defamation of character or anything. But yeah,
I feel that. You ain't gotta get into that. You ain't gotta do that. But yeah, look, Vegas, my birthday. Yo, you sliding? You coming? Vegas, my birthday. You coming?
It's not impossible, but I gotta. The first is the date for the final one. So after that, I'm gonna be able to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So
it's a weekend. Like, are you busy on the weekend? Yeah, no. We can talk after this.
Well, I gotta take this.
Okay.
We're going to end it then.
Yeah, we might as well just call it. Is she? Okay, she on the phone. Oh, she's back. Okay, she's back.
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
I think she was intent on taking that call. There it is.
Oh yeah. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
she was intent on taking that call.
She was so. Hey, bro. Well, bro, hey, man, I appreciate you for coming through, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? You showed up on time and shit, you know?
Hey, as a fellow podcaster, I understand, bro. I understand. I don't envy your position because being the one to run everything, it is a headache. You got the topics, you got to schedule everything. And it's like I said, sometimes it's just easier, like, you know what, let me pop this open, let me run this camera, say what I got to say, edit and be done with it. But I truly appreciate being on the show. You know what I'm saying? Especially with, I think you're the second guest appearance I've done. But like on this one, it's really fun. It was like less constricted. The last one I did was no knock to them. But, whenever you talk about that that harassment and you deal with women that have been victims of it, it's kind of hard to almost be objective and give an opinion when you know what I'm saying? It's because instantly they're gonna feel like you're attacking them or you're invalidating their claim when you're just bringing up the honest truth of the other side. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm sorry that that's triggering, but that's probably what dude was thinking. Like,
exactly. And I'm like, So I was like, my hands are tied, so I can't really say what I say. But on this one, y'all seem like y'all were having a lot of fun. I'm talking about I couldn't wait. That's what I'm talking about. I was like, I'm being on time. Like I said, setting up everything. I want to be on this one.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Hey, we always be chilling. You more than welcome. You come back anytime. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And I do other stuff too, like other collaborative things, like, you know what I'm saying, whether it's gaming or just like one-off videos about whatever, reaction videos. I do other stuff too.
Okay, well,
I haven't been on that stuff as I should be. But I'm trying to get back my wheels back under myself. Ever since the holidays, and I took a break. Like that break killed me.
That break, because you lose that steam. You're like, I don't really like doing it today. Or you're like, fuck, I gotta go through all this again. And it's super hard getting everybody on the same page. It's like, bro, all you gotta do is just come on Zoom. Like it's not hard. It's one thing because I was doing it in person, and I was known to be the guy that had all my little podcast stuff in a box, and I would carry it to people's houses. Like, hey, can I interview you? Can you like? So yeah, it's dope, man. But like, I love the energy. It's fun. It was really fun.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the outro officially in it, but stick around though, bro.
All right.